He woke up on a park bench, homeless, broke, and completely alone. 6 months earlier, he had everything: a six-figure job, a beautiful family, a life people envied. What happened in between? And how did he go from sleeping on concrete to rebuilding everything, even stronger than before? Let's call him Mark. That's not his real name, but his story is 100% real. Mark was a top executive at a tech company. Corner office, stock options. Respect, but behind the success, cracks were forming. He was working 80-hour weeks. His marriage was crumbling. He barely saw his kids. And instead of facing it, he buried himself deeper into work. Until one day, everything collapsed at once. He was fired. His wife left. His savings evaporated in the divorce. And within 90 days, Mark went from the top to rock bottom, literally sleeping in his car. Then, when the car was repossessed, a park bench. Most people think rock bottom is the end. But for Mark, it was the beginning. One morning, he woke up freezing. His body ached. His mind was numb. And for the first time in his life, he had nowhere to go. No meetings, no deadlines. No distractions, just silence. And in that silence, something shifted. He asked himself one question: if I could rebuild from zero, what would I do differently? That question saved his life. Mark realized something most people never do. His success hadn't made him happy. The title, the money, the status was all external. And when it disappeared, so did his sense of self. So he made a decision. He wouldn't chase the same life again. He'd build something real, something meaningful. But first, he had to rebuild himself. He started small. He got a job washing dishes at a diner. Humbling, absolutely. But it gave him structure, a paycheck, a reason to wake up. Every morning, he'd walk to the library. He read books on philosophy, psychology, personal development. He journaled. He reflected on what went wrong and what he'd do differently. And slowly, piece by piece, he started to change. 6 months later, Mark was still washing dishes, but mentally, he was a different person. He started networking not for a job, but to help others. He volunteered at a homeless shelter. He mentored young men struggling with addiction. He gave without expecting anything back. And that's when things started to shift. One of the men he mentored worked in construction. He offered Mark a job. Better pay, more responsibility. Mark took it. Within a year, Mark had saved enough to rent a small apartment. He reconnected with his kids. Slowly, carefully, rebuilding trust one conversation at a time. He didn't chase success anymore. He chased growth. And ironically, success started chasing him. 3 years after that park bench, Mark launched his own business. Not in tech, in coaching. He helped other men who were going through what he went through: divorce, job loss, identity crisis. He didn't sell them a dream. He gave them a roadmap, a real one, and it worked. His business grew. His reputation grew. His income grew. But this time, it was built on something solid: purpose, meaning, connection. Today, Mark runs a successful coaching practice. He's remarried. He has a relationship with his kids, and he's happier than he ever was in that corner office. So what's the lesson here? Rock bottom isn't the end, it's the reset. It's life stripping away everything that doesn't matter so you can rebuild on what does. Mark lost his job, his family, his money. But he gained something more valuable: clarity, purpose, a sense of who he really was beneath the titles and the paychecks. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Sometimes you need to lose everything to find what truly matters. That doesn't mean you have to hit rock bottom, but it does mean you need to ask yourself, am I building a life I actually want? Or am I just chasing what I think I'm supposed to want? Because the second you stop living for others and start living for you, everything changes. Mark's story isn't unique. There are millions of people who've rebuilt their lives from nothing, who've turned their pain into power, their struggle into strength. And if you're going through something right now, if you're at your lowest point, I want you to hear this. It's not over. This is just the beginning. Your comeback starts the moment you decide it does. Subscribe to Life's Lesson Blairy for more true stories of hope, struggle, and the human spirit. These are the stories they don't teach in school, but they might just change your life. And if this story resonated with you, drop a comment below. What's one thing you're rebuilding in your life right now? Let's support each other. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one.